Hey guys, it's Raw and Rawgasm here. I'm going to be showing you how to do the Fire Scorpion Trash. I'll be running through your talents, pet talents, and a few macros. First off, I'm going to start with the talents. Your talent build, it doesn't matter what you go for, as long as you have Concussive Barrage and Entrapment. That is your main CC in putting these Scorpions. That is pretty much your rotation. I mean, using mine is probably your best bet because it is ideally just for Fireland Trash. Your pet talents, as long as it's a cat, you're going to be getting his passive or special ability, whatever you want to call it. And make sure talents in this isn't needed, but it just makes it faster and easier. If you do have this talented, make sure you have it so you click it and not that it auto happens. I mean, I've asked plenty of hunters about this, let's call it a trinket buff, because I like it. I've asked plenty of hunters about that buff, and they said their pet auto does that at starts a fight, which is bad. I think I'm going to sneeze. No way it passed. But no, all the hunters I know, their pet auto-casts that at the start of fight, which you don't want that happening. You want to use it with rapid fire, or if you're the other spec, what spec am I marks? If you're survival, you want to use it under a haste buff, say like time warp or something, or when lock and load procs. I mean that way you can't go wrong with attack power increased by 10%. That's bound to do some damage, especially under rapid fire. And especially as you're multi-shot in about 10 plus things. So here's your macros. This one, none of these macros are required to do this pull. It just does bigger output of damage and DPS. So this one's aim shot. Pretty much you do aim shot with aspect of the hawk. That way you've got the hawk buff. You do steady shot with aspect of the fox. That way you can run while casting it, because you don't want to be stood still. And here's your multi-shot buff. Well, macro with hawk again, because you can run while casting it, even though it's instant cast. So to do it so it doesn't cancel the effect, put a little exclamation mark in front of the aspect. I mean, I read this up the other day from Warcraft Union or some crap like that, and they helped me with doing this, even though it's a PvP macro. I thought I'd use it. Why is there an A there? Anyway, first off I'm going to start the pool with some multi-shots, get them gathered up, place a trap down, explosive trap, do that with one of these two traps. Excuse me. That way you're doing a little bit more damage to all of them. I mean, I normally get crits around 10k with all of them, which is just a little bit faster. So if you're not using macros, always be in Fox. If you're using macros, it does not matter because they'll keep changing for you depending on what spell you're using. Right, so you just keep putting them back. Put down a trap around here so they don't catch up. I mean, I'm getting a bit of lag since I've started using the macros. By a bit of lag I mean loads of lag. Right, now I'm going to pop my cooldowns. Holy shit, what's going on? Get the fuck away from me. Anyway, just keep doing this, keep going back, keep spamming. Make sure bombardment doesn't drop. I mean, you can do one steady shot, one multi-shot, steady multi, whatever. So as long as you're happy with what you're doing. Right, so they've caught up, which I didn't want to happen just yet. How are you hitting me? You're nowhere near me. Bear in mind, Scorpion's range is like 7,000 feet, according to Blizzard. Right. Right, so I'm starting to hate these new macros because they're starting to piss off my hunter and make him angry. Probably very confused to why he's doing all these hand gestures. It's like, yes, I'm gonna hit you with gestures. Howdy ha ha ha. So yeah, now that I've actually tried out these macros, I would suggest not to use them. I mean, your PC will probably run better than mine, because mine's on the verge of blowing up. The graphics card is going mental right now. It's overheating as well. So that is what you do, you just keep spamming multi-shot, putting down a few traps, and everything else. I mean, I assume everyone who's going to be doing this will not be having lag spikes like I am, which makes their life a lot easier. Jesus Christ, 25 FPS. And before I came into this, believe it or not, I was running at around 80 or 100 FPS. I mean, epics still do drop. I mean, the other day I had 2 epics drop from one guy, which was one of these scorpions, believe it or not. It was this crossbow, which I was farming for 2 days, well, 2 nights for around 3 or 4 hours a night. And the obsidian cleaver or whatever. I mean, I've had around 6 or 7 epics drop, but it's always been something I don't want, or something this character does not need. An alt of mine uses it. But no, doing this is easy. Macros and getting the right talent helps a lot. I mean, if you notice there, I used scatter shot. Kind of regret using it now because he's too far behind. But I would much rather use scatter shot than get my ass eaten by a bunch of horny scorpions. Look at that lag. It's just horrible. Now here comes the fun bit, when the scorpions start to die. For every killing blow you get, you gain 50 focus. So you can quite literally just stand here and spam your little heart out of multi-shot until you're left with this guy. I mean, considering he's not going to catch me because of that trap, let's kill him. Right, so I have got no epics. The reason how I know that is because I've got a master loot for epics. So I wouldn't normally loot all these mobs. I would just mouse over their bodies, and at the bottom right it says loot raw and 85 corpse elite. If there's an epic on the corpse, it will say master looter and whoever is the master looter. Because it's me, it will say master looter raw. And because the loot is set onto epic, it will only show master loot for epics. So for you who don't care about money and just want the epics, master loot is what you want. Because that way you can just fly through this without looting. You can go bang bang, kill them, run around here. I mean, I would personally not kill them. They take too much time. I would kill these 3 here, and that loner one over there. If I do that within 8 minutes or faster, I'll pull those 2 there. So then I don't get locked out the instance later. Alright, I hope this video helps, guys. I mean, I want some feedback from this, and take care.